Like everything else, shame starts with self-awareness. I'm going to give you my definition of shame. I'm going to do all of that stuff in a second. But like everything else, shame starts with self-awareness. What's self-awareness? For those of you, thank you, welcome first-time listeners. Also, let me thank all of my subscribers on Instagram and Patreon. Thank you so much for your support. If you have not subscribed in either one of those spaces, do so right away. Shame starts with self-awareness. What's self-awareness? It's honesty about who you are, where you are, and what you're doing at any given time. Record it. You should know that definition by now. Self-awareness is honesty about who you are, where you are, and what you're doing at any given time. Well, shame starts with self-awareness, meaning you really cannot function and reap the benefits of shame if you're not honest and if you're not aware. If you're not honest and if you're not aware, you will never reap the benefits of shame. In fact, not only will you not reap the benefits of shame, you won't even know what shame is or have any clear understanding of how shameful your behavior is because you lack the awareness to recognize it. And so my goal tonight, I love y'all in advance, but my goal tonight is to make everybody upset with me, especially people who are living their life functioning oblivious to shame. Because I hate to put it this way, but here's the truth. Some of you are single, not because you can't get somebody, but because you don't understand what shame is. Because if you knew what shame was and recognize the things in your life that should create shame, you would make some changes in your life that perhaps would cause you maybe not to be single. Or some of you haven't been promoted before on your jobs, not because you're not competent, not because you're not smart, but because there's certain ways that you're showing up that you're not honest about and you're not aware of. And because you're not aware of them and not honest, you're functioning in a space that you think is normal that's really shameful. And so what can benefit you through shame is actually not benefiting you because of your lack of self-awareness. Oh my God. And I want to say this from the start, record it now. If people have historically lied to you, if people have historically enabled you, if people have historically not taught you, your baseline for self-awareness will be off center. I want you to record it now. Come on, hurry up. You can do it. If people have historically lied to you, if people have historically enabled you, if people have historically not taught you and instructed you, parents, guardians, coaches, mentors, whomever, your baseline of awareness will be off center. You will do things that's crazy and it becomes normal to you. And people who have self-awareness will look at your crazy and wonder why you can't see that it's crazy. I'm going to say this a simple way because let me tell you just something. Let me just go here real quick because this has major implications for your healing. What you can and cannot see, I want you to record this now. What you can and cannot see about your life has major implications for your healing journey. Y'all just got a little restriction thing on TikTok again. I don't know why I'm getting restricted. Who knows? It's every week. It never fails. It has major implications for your healing journey. Y'all like the video, support the show. Our numbers are low tonight. Support it. Come on. Like it and support it. Hurry. Share the video. Why does it have major implications? Let me tell you something that never ceased to amaze me. I am still getting clients in front of me and this typically happens in the relationship space. I have clients that get in front of me that have been brought to me. Let's say, a husband's been brought to me by his wife, or a wife has been brought to me by her husband. And they get in front of me and they got all of these problems in their situation. But it is always astounding to see how one of them is completely clueless as to why they're there. So the conversation sometimes will go like this, right? You have a couple and they're both there and they're on the screen and they're either in the same room, so they're on the same screen, or they're in different places and one's on one side, one's on the other. I'm in the middle, right? On the Zoom, and we're talking. And so I'll be like, so what brings us here? And the person who set up the account or set up the call will be like, yeah, I feel like our marriage, our relationship, whatever, can use this. We struggle with this. We having a problem with this. This occurred. Da 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 da. They'll talk 3, 4, 5 minutes. Then I'll go to the other person, because sometimes it's a man, sometimes it's a woman. I'm equal opportunity. I'll never be accused of being playing favorites here. I'll go to the other person and be like, so what's your understanding, ma'am? What's your understanding, sir, about why y'all here? And y'all would be shocked. After 3 affairs, a secret baby in China, physical abuse, all this stuff that happened between these 2 people, the other person would be like, sir, I don't even know why I'm here. Oh my God. And I look kind of like, really? And then I'll be like, for real? I'll be like, yeah. Yes, sir. I don't know why she brought me here. I don't know why he brought me here. So I'll be like, what they said ain't true? It wasn't 3 affairs and a secret baby in China? Yeah, I cheated. And you don't know why you here? Mm-mm. Happens all the time. Happens all the time. You know why? Because it's hard to have shame when you ain't got no awareness. And some of you are going to get further on this healing journey, not by going to the gym, that helps, not by journaling, that helps, not by seeing a counselor or a therapist, that helps. Some of you are going to get further on your healing journey by just functioning in awareness. Sometimes having a clue is the first step to healing. Oh my God. And people who struggle with self-awareness and who struggle with shame typically are clueless people. They're clueless. Clueless because either they can't see what's wrong, or they're clueless because they choose not to see what's wrong. Let me tell you something. If you're in a relationship with somebody that doesn't have shame, if I were you, I'd run as fast as I could. Oh my God. How do you fix problems with a person who can't see their problems or refuses to acknowledge them? Anybody got any suggestions? I'm all ears. How do you fix a problem with a person who doesn't even acknowledge the problems they got? And yet some of you do. Some of you are trying to fix problems with Sammy and Susan. You're trying to fix all of these problems with people who don't even acknowledge, hey, I'm aware of how I'm showing up, my behavior. And the people have no awareness, they have no shame. Let's talk about what shame is. Let's get into it. Y'all with me? It's going to get real thick up in here. Let's talk about what shame is. Let me give you my definition of shame. You know, I've got a custom definition of shame, but it's going to make sense when I really break this down in the context of what is healthy and what is not healthy. Let me give you my definition of shame. My definition is this: shame is felt or expressed pain created by the awareness of negative or inappropriate behavior. Shame, my definition of shame, is felt or expressed pain created by the awareness of negative or inappropriate behavior. Shame is felt or expressed pain created by the awareness of negative or inappropriate behavior. Some of y'all talking about some you don't want to feel shame. Stop shaming me, and you don't even know what you're talking about. If there's another phrase we can put in the trash with narcissist and gaslight and manipulator, it's stop shaming me. And y'all put all kinds of things next to this word shame: fat shaming, health shaming, trauma shaming. I've heard it all. Some of you don't even know what the word shame means. And after tonight, you're going to realize that maybe people ain't shaming you. Maybe they're trying to bring you to a place of awareness. Oh my God. So what makes shame healthy? I want you to look at the definition. My definition of shame: felt or expressed pain created by the awareness of negative or inappropriate behavior. Thank you so much for your support. Felt or expressed pain created by the awareness of negative or inappropriate behavior. So in my mind, there are two types of shame. There is a healthy shame, one that benefits you, that helps you become the best version of you. And there is an unhealthy shame. Okay? So what makes shame healthy? This is what makes shame healthy. When awareness happens first and felt or expressed pain happens second. Let's break down the definition first. Look at this. Shame, felt or expressed pain, which means shame cannot exist absent of pain. Why do people run from shame? I'll tell you why. People run from shame because most people that have to function in honesty also have to function in the pain associated with it, which means we don't get to keep telling you you're wonderful when you got a bad attitude. We don't get to keep telling you everything all right with you when your attitude so stink that don't nobody want to be around you. And sometimes when you have heard all your life that your attitude is great, but really your attitude stinks, that is going to cause you to have felt or expressed pain, and you need it. Because felt and expressed pain ain't going to exist if it ain't true, which means you don't have to worry about shame if your attitude ain't bad and somebody says you have a bad attitude. So what I've seen in my space is that people are told that something's wrong with them and it's true, but they're offended, but it's true. If it's true, you have no reason to be offended. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I want you to put that in your notes and put it in all caps. If whatever it is you're struggling with is true, you ain't got no reason to be offended when nobody calls it out. No wonder you know why I believe the numbers are low tonight? Because I don't believe a lot of people wanted to hear this. If what is being expressed about you, to you, if what you had to acknowledge about yourself is true, then there's no need for you to be offended. Why are you offended? So shame is felt or expressed pain. When you come into a place of awareness, somebody's expressed something, called something out, that Shame starts with felt or expressed pain. Here we go. Created by the awareness of negative or inappropriate behavior. Well, Doc, some of you are going to be smarty arts. Well, Doc, isn't negative very subjective? When we talk about negative or inappropriate behavior, that's where we talk about establishing a baseline. A baseline of what? A baseline for decency. I want you to put this in the chat right now. This is going to be a better live than what people realize. A baseline for decency. You want to know a big reason why shame is missing? And I'm going to come to this because it's 4 big reasons I'm going to talk about, but I'm going to give you a preview because we go into it the very next thing. One of the big reasons shame is missing is because the baseline for decency is in hell. Oh my God. The baseline for decency is in hell in every way. How folk act, how folk behave, how they talk, how they dress. I'm going to deal with all that in about 6 minutes. The baseline for decency is in hell. That's how low it is. So if your baseline for decency is in hell, you will reach a point in culture and society where people will literally call what's wrong right and what's right wrong. I'll get to that in a second. This is going to be brutal. Baseline's in hell. So people don't know what decency is. So people struggle to know what negative or inappropriate behavior is. And that's part of the problem, which is why shame is hard for some people to embrace, to realize, to accept, because the baseline for decency, people don't have it. Now, let me just offense alert. I want to say this right now. I don't care if you black, white, brown, Puerto Rican, Haitian, Italian, Russian, Chinese, Democrat, Republican, like Obama, like Trump. I don't care who you are. The reality is, regardless of your race, regardless of your gender, regardless of your political affiliation, your religion, there should still be a baseline for decency. And the reality is, the reason why there's so much tension in our world in general is because the baseline for decency does this. So of course people are losing their mind. Many people are losing their mind doing behavior that we call losing their mind because they don't have no baseline to say otherwise. And then people who are in authority, who are in leadership, when you don't have a baseline for decency, if a nation's leadership is corrupt, its people will be corrupt. Doc, are you on a side or nothing? No, I ain't on nobody's side. I'm on my side. If your mama guilty, oh well. Ain't on nobody's side. The baseline for decency is in hell. And that's why folk ain't got shame. And that's why people can treat people any kind of way on any level in your family, in your relationships, in politics and government. People can literally walk around and treat people any kind of way and feel no kind of way about it because the baseline for decency is in hell, which is why we need to bring shame back. People ain't got no shame. So, what makes shame healthy and unhealthy? I'll give you the juxtaposition based on the definition. Again, for those of you that are just tuning in, let me give you the definition one more time, and I'm going to break this down, and then I'm going to give you 4 big reasons why shame is missing and give you some other things, and we're going to talk about this baseline a little bit more. The definition of shame, my definition, is felt or expressed pain created by the awareness of negative or inappropriate behavior. Felt or expressed pain created by the awareness of negative or inappropriate behavior. Well, let's go further. What would make shame healthy? Look at the definition. What would make shame healthy is when awareness comes first and then felt or expressed pain comes second. Healthy shame looks like awareness first and then felt or expressed pain second. Stay with me. Healthy shame looks like awareness first, which means you come to a place in your life where you are functioning in honesty with yourself, and then felt or expressed pain second. As a result of this honesty you have with yourself, you then move to a space where you can feel the pain or express the pain associated with your behavior. That's healthy. There is nothing unhealthy about you through your awareness feeling the pain that your behavior has caused. I want to say that again slow. There is nothing unhealthy about you through awareness feeling the pain that you caused. Oh my God. There is nothing unhealthy about you through awareness feeling the pain that you caused. That's why the number's low tonight. Because some of y'all don't want to hear my mouth say that if you cause somebody some pain and you did wrong by somebody and you're aware of what you did, you ought to feel bad. You should feel bad. If you cheated on somebody, you know you cheated on somebody, you're fully aware that you cheated, you ought to feel some pain. You know what we do? Nah, he got childhood trauma. He was going through childhood trauma. That's why, Doc, I was going through childhood trauma, and that's why I when I cheated, I didn't really mean to cheat, and so you can't shame me because my childhood trauma caused me to cheat. If you got awareness of your behavior, you ought to feel the pain associated with your decisions. And you know what we do? We try to excuse people from feeling the pain associated with their own dysfunction. And you got to stop trying to excuse people from feeling the pain of their own dysfunction. Stop trying to excuse people from feeling the pain of their own dysfunction. Nobody does this better than the people pleaser. Nobody does this better than the people pleaser. A people pleaser will think they are sparing the feelings. A people pleaser will think they are sparing the feelings of an abuser and doing a noble thing by doing so, because they don't want the abuser to feel bad about their abuse. And that is dysfunction at its finest. You hear how quiet it is in the comments tonight? The numbers are low. You see how quiet this is? We had less than 300, 400 people on this live in a very long time. I ain't leaving this replay up unless a whole mountain of y'all support. Y'all join Patreon so you can see it. Because people don't want to hear this in my face. No, I want you to hear this in my face. Healthy awareness is when you have, or healthy shame is when you have awareness first that's followed by felt or expressed pain, which means if you can function in self-awareness, you ought to be able to feel your dysfunction. And feeling your dysfunction ain't going to kill you. A little bit of shame ain't going to hurt you, especially when that shame is merited. Especially when that felt or expressed pain is deserved. Doc, you telling me there are times I deserve pain? Yeah. When you make intentional decisions and intentional choices, yeah, you deserve the pain that comes with it. You deserve the pain that comes with your intentional choices. And the reason why the numbers are so low tonight on this live is because people don't want me to look them in the face and say, you need a little bit of shame. That's what's wrong with our culture now. That's why some of your men and women cheat on you all the time. Because their baseline for decency is so low that it's in hell. And then when you try to call them out on it, because they don't have a baseline for decency, they try to fight you over the offense that they caused in order to avoid the pain associated with that offense. Y'all keep up. Oh my God. Thank you, Marcy, for the support. Appreciate that. No, y'all be letting people off the hook. You come up with excuses after excuses, and I'm going to talk about what that turns into when I give you the 5 big reasons why shame is missing. Because there's 5 big ones. And I'm going to take my time and make y'all good and mad. So healthy shame looks like awareness first, felt or expressed pain second. What does unhealthy shame look like? Let me help you. For those of you that have experienced unhealthy shame, I'm going to explain what unhealthy shame looks like. Unhealthy shame looks like felt or expressed pain first, awareness second. Y'all writing this down? Unhealthy shame looks like felt or expressed pain first and awareness second. How does that work in real time? I'll tell you how it works in real time. Shame that is not healthy is the kind of pain that people feel or express, but they have no real awareness of the depth of their actions or their behavior. And that lack of awareness often comes from a sincere place. That's important. I want you to put that in parentheses. This lack of awareness typically comes from a very sincere place. Let me give you the best example of this that I can. Have you ever, I want you to put in the chat a 1. I want you to put in the chat a 1 if I'm talking to you. Have you ever done something to offend someone and you didn't know you offended them? And I'm talking about being, trying to be funny. No, you sincerely didn't know you offended them. Put a 1 in the chat. Hurt somebody's feelings, offended them, and you sincerely didn't know you did it. Anybody? Good. So I'm not alone. If you have done something to hurt someone's feelings and you sincerely did not know you did it, watch. When that person then makes you want to feel pain without understanding what you did, that's unhealthy shame. I'm going to say that again slow. You're going to be the smartest person at the water cooler tomorrow. If you have ever offended a person and they want you to feel bad about it before telling you what you did, that's unhealthy shame. So when we talk about shame and people shaming you, that's what people really mean, but most people can't explain it. If you've been made to feel bad over something you were really fully aware that you didn't do or did, you weren't really fully aware of your behavior or what occurred, that's not healthy shame. Let me become aware first of my behavior before I'm made to feel bad about it. And see, in this culture where people get off on trying to make people feel like crap for the stuff that they've done, there is nothing more dysfunctional. I want you to put this in all capital letters. There is nothing more dysfunctional than trying to make somebody feel bad about something they didn't even know they did. I'm going to say it in English because y'all not going to get it that way. Hey, it's 2025. Y'all record that. Nothing more dysfunctional than attempting to make somebody feel bad about something they honestly don't know about. This is why I believe it is complete comedy when I see people walk around pissed off with people and them people they pissed off with don't even know you mad.
Oh my God.
There is no lower level of dysfunction than to be mad at somebody and they ain't even really aware that you mad. Do you know how foolish you look when you get mad at people and they don't even know you mad at them, but you don't even have the awareness and the understanding of the importance of informing people of how you were offended, so that if the offense is legitimate, then they can feel the shame associated with their behavior. But when you walk around mad at people and you have not even communicated why you mad, and you making posts about you being mad at them, and they still don't know you mad. In fact, some of these people don't even know you exist.
Oh my God.
Do you know how foolish you look? Do you know how foolish you look? Making posts about people who ain't thinking about you. Do you know how ignorant you look being upset with people you won't even have a conversation with? That ain't healthy shame. There's nothing healthy about that kind of shame. Shame that is healthy has to start with awareness first and felt or expressed pain second. Before people need to feel bad about what they did, they need to first understand through honesty and self-awareness what they did. This is making sense? Let me give you 5 big reasons why shame is missing. This is a perfect segue. This helping anybody? Y'all like the video, share the video. Our numbers are still low. It's cool. Unless many more of you support, I'm not going to leave this up. Because all the people that were scared of tonight's lesson, we typically are in the 4 to 700 range easily tonight on Thursday night lives. All of the people that skipped out tonight, there's a lot of people that skipped out because they didn't want to hear this. And I'm telling you right now, that's part of the problem. It's a whole lot of people walking around with a sense of pseudo safety because they refuse to function in self-awareness. And when you don't function in self-awareness, you will walk around and live in pseudo safety, pseudo false safety. You'll think everything good with you when really it ain't. So we bringing back shame tonight. Let me give you 5 big reasons why shame is missing. Number 1, we kind of sort of talked about it. Number 1, the baseline for decency. Record it. The baseline for decency. Somebody said on Instagram, what is it called when you tell them? It's called being honest. It's called being honest. I'm not being funny. That's my answer. I'm sticking with it. It's called being honest. Number 1, the baseline for decency. Our baseline for decency as a culture and as a society is real low. When it comes to how we act, how we behave, how we talk, how we dress, how we communicate, how we navigate through disagreement. The baseline for decency is in hell. Look at how people act. I've never seen a time in my life where people literally function in spaces, even public spaces, with such a poor, low bar for decency and will look at you like what you looking at them for. Acting, how we behave. Y'all, remember I said something about maybe doing a cruise in 2026? That's still possible. Where I'm thinking about doing a cruise and doing like a 3-4 day cruise thing, like self-awareness cruise, and it's gonna have classes, seminars, things like that, but it'll be able to be fun and stuff like that. But let me tell you something. It was a couple of months ago. I was on vacation. I think I was in Grenada, and I was watching some YouTube videos, and I was amazed just looking at some YouTube videos, YouTubing some things about, cruise ships and different cruise lines. And there's a particular cruise line that was all in the news because people were on there fighting like animals. Regularly. Now, let me give y'all another disclaimer again, like I did in the beginning of the show. You Black, white, Asian, Puerto Rican, Haitian, Muslim, Christian, Buddhist, atheist, Seventh-day Adventist, Democrat, Republican, don't know what you are. I don't care what you are. I'm talking to everybody. I ain't on nobody's side but right. I like me. In real life. Ukrainian, thank you. I like me in real life. When I saw all that fighting on that ship, I thought to myself, and this is the crazy part. Folks was on the ship fighting and had babies next to them. What in your crazy mind would cause you to think that it is okay to be on a cruise ship with families in an ocean fighting people with your babies in your lap?
Oh my God.
And folks was walking around hitting their chest, posting it, acting like everything was normal. Acting like everything was normal. You know why? Because the baseline for decency, y'all, is in hell. People don't know how to act. People, go back to my definition of shame. People haven't been taught how to act. People haven't been taught, some people, what negative and inappropriate behavior is. But hear me out. Just because you haven't been taught negative or inappropriate behavior doesn't mean you're not accountable. We need to bring shame back because folk would learn how to act if we called out the foolishness when it came to behavior that is not decent. Y'all ain't got to like this tonight. I don't care. My numbers ain't never been this low on a Thursday, but I get it. I want to skip tonight too. 5 big reasons why shame missing. And one of them is the baseline for decency. People don't know how to act and behave. And people call inappropriate behavior appropriate behavior. And then the people that have no shame call appropriate behavior inappropriate behavior. It is literally people calling wrong right and right wrong. And that shame is impacting your healing journey. Besides, if you don't think fighting on a cruise ship with family there and you got your kids in your hand, if you don't think that's the problem, then surely you ain't gonna think cheating is the problem. You ain't gonna think disrespecting your husband, your wife is a problem. You ain't gonna think your kids at school disrespecting principals and teachers is a problem. Why? Because the bar and the baseline for decency that you have is in hell. That's why. Doc, why is your work so successful? I'll tell you why. Because sometimes I have to look clients in the face, and through self-awareness, honesty about who you are, where you are, and what you're doing, I have to get people back to a place of shame. Because sometimes what you're not shameful about, you will never fix. Some people don't change because they don't feel no shame about their behavior. Some people won't heal because they don't feel any shame about their foolishness. And yet we say, you don't need to shame people. Stop shaming people. Nobody needs to be shamed. Cut it out. A little bit of shame ain't gonna hurt you.
Listen, y'all, I hope this made sense. If it did, I want you to type church in the comments with 3 R's. And then I want you to remember you've got 2 jobs. 1, be better today than what you were yesterday. And 2, don't forget what I told you.